Labubu was never meant to be scary. At least, that's what people said. It was designed to be playful. Big round eyes, small sharp teeth, a mischievous grin. A collectible toy. A harmless character. But the internet has a way of changing things. The first viral video appeared on a quiet Sunday night. A collector showing his shelf, rows of colorful figures. And in the center, Labubu. The comments weren't about design or rarity. They were about the smile. Why does it look different? Was it smiling like that before? Why do its eyes feel alive? The creator laughed it off. Until the next morning. Labubu was no longer facing forward. It had turned slightly, not enough to be obvious, but enough to feel intentional. The collector blamed vibration. Maybe the shelf was uneven. That night, he filmed a time-lapse. 8 hours. No cuts. Nothing happened for most of the video. Until the final minute. Labubu's head moved. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. Just a slow, almost careful tilt. As if it knew it was being watched. And chose the perfect moment. The video went viral within hours. Millions watched it. Millions paused it. Zoomed in. And that's when something stranger happened. People claimed the smile looked wider, depending on where they watched it. On phones, it felt playful. On laptops, unsettling. On TV screens, disturbing. Some viewers reported headaches. Others said they couldn't stop replaying the clip. A few commented something chilling. I don't know why, but I feel like it recognizes me. Labubu was still just a toy. No moving parts. No electronics. Yet every night, new videos appeared. Different homes. Same figure. Same smile. And the same quiet feeling. That Labubu wasn't moving on its own. It was responding. As Labubu's videos spread, one question flooded the internet. Who created it? Collectors traced the design back to an independent artist. A quiet creator. Rare interviews. No public presence. At first, the artist dismissed the rumors. Labubu was just a character. A playful creature meant to spark imagination. But then, the post stopped. No updates. No replays. No new designs. Fans noticed something odd. Old posts from the artist began to disappear. Images vanished. Comments were locked. And in one archived interview, a single sentence stood out. Every character carries a feeling. Some feelings don't like to be ignored. That sentence became a theory. People who owned Labubu began sharing similar experiences. The doll didn't move when watched directly. It only changed when no one was looking. A woman placed Labubu inside a glass cabinet. Locked. Sealed. In the morning, the cabinet was still locked. Labubu was facing the wall. Another collector noticed tiny scratches on the shelf, as if something had been turned slowly again and again. Then came the emails. People claimed to receive blank messages late at night. No sender name. No subject. Just one attached image. Labubu. Always photographed from an angle. That no one remembered taking. Some owners tried to sell the doll. The listings were removed. Not by people. By the platform itself. No longer available. Even when the seller hadn't canceled. Those who tried to throw Labubu away reported the same thing. It always came back. Placed carefully. Facing them. And the smile. Never changed. But their feeling did. They stopped joking. Stopped laughing. They began sleeping with lights on. Because Labubu wasn't hunting. It wasn't attacking. It was waiting. The problem was never fear. It was fascination. People didn't scream when they owned Labubu. They stared. Collectors began spending hours just watching it. Not touching. Not filming. Just observing. One man admitted something disturbing. I feel calm when it's in the room. And anxious when it's not. Another said he couldn't fall asleep. Unless Labubu was facing him. Psychologists online blamed pareidolia. The human brain finding meaning where there is none. But they couldn't explain the pattern. Every owner described the same stages. First, curiosity. Second, discomfort. Third, attachment. Labubu became a routine. People spoke to it without realizing. Apologized when bumping into shelves. Adjusted its position carefully, respectfully. A university student decided to test the obsession. She placed Labubu inside a box. Sealed it. Put the box in her closet. That night, she dreamed of rows of smiling faces. All identical. All watching. She woke up to a sound. A soft scraping. The box was still sealed. But the closet door was open, and Labubu was sitting on her desk, facing her bed. She didn't scream. She cried. Because for the first time, the smile didn't feel playful. It felt expectant. Viewers who followed the story noticed something else. Videos featuring Labubu had longer watch times. People replayed them unconsciously. Comments slowed, then stopped, almost like everyone was listening. The obsession wasn't random. It was synchronized. Labubu wasn't just being watched. It was teaching people how to watch it. And once it learned your attention, it never let go. By now, people weren't laughing anymore. Labubu groups stopped sharing jokes. They shared plans. One message appeared again and again. If we stop looking, maybe it stops existing. A group of collectors decided to act together. Different cities, different homes. Same night, they agreed to remove Labubu from their lives at exactly the same time. No videos, no livestreams, no audience, just silence. One man wrapped the doll carefully in cloth. Not roughly, almost respectfully. He placed it inside a box and sealed it. Another locked it in a storage unit. A woman placed hers in a car trunk, far from her home. At midnight, they all stopped watching. Phones were turned off. Lights went out. For the first time in weeks, there were no new Labubu videos. But the silence didn't feel empty. It felt crowded. People reported the same sensation that night. Not fear, pressure, like something waiting behind their thoughts. One collector woke suddenly, heart racing. He felt watched, even though the room was empty. Another heard a soft sound. Not footsteps, not breathing. A gentle tap. Once, then nothing. In the morning, the group checked in. Every single plan had failed. The boxes were unopened, the locks untouched. But Labubu was back, placed carefully, facing forward. And something had changed. The smile looked the same, but the eyes, they no longer felt curious. They felt disappointed. One message appeared in the group chat. Just text. No sender. You looked away. After that, no one tried again. Because they finally understood something terrifying. Labubu didn't need to move. It didn't need to chase. It didn't need to scare. It only needed attention. And attention had already been given. The truth didn't come suddenly. It settled in slowly. After the failed attempts to remove Labubu, people stopped posting. Not because it was gone, but because they no longer needed to prove it was there. Labubu had changed behavior. It stopped moving, stopped turning, stopped responding. It just stayed, always visible, always facing forward. And that's when the fear deepened, because movement was never the goal. A digital analyst finally noticed something unusual. Search data showed a pattern. People who once watched Labubu videos continued typing the name, even when no new content existed. Not out of curiosity, out of habit. Labubu wasn't attached to the doll. It was attached to the idea, a pattern of attention. The analyst published a quiet report. The object is irrelevant. What spreads is the focus. Those who no longer owned Labubu still felt the same presence. Not in rooms, in moments of silence. When screens were off, when thoughts slowed, that's when the smile appeared. Not visually, but mentally. A memory that refused to fade. The final message appeared months later. Not on a forum, not in a chat. Inside a video description. No comments. No explanation. Just one line. You don't have to see me anymore. You already know I'm here. And that was the last Labubu post. No wudbye. No yampskir. No ending. Because Labubu didn't want to be watched forever. It wanted to be remembered. And remembrance is the quiet